a boring adventure of me just going through the motions of playing World of Warcraft Classic and how I like to play the game oftentimes when I'm taking time away from the grind. I predominantly like to be actually on either side of the continent. There's some sections on Kalimdor that I enjoy, but I find myself maybe a little bit more on the Eastern Kingdom side. We've got Stranglethorn Vale. A lot of people can use some help there sometimes. This is Alliance territory. Nobody's going there. Arathi Highlands sometimes. Hinterlands a little bit, but Tarren Mill is a big one. And then the Western and Eastern Plague Lands is where a lot of people quest. Well, mind you, they quest all over the place. I'm just talking about there's a lot of people that quest in those areas that I really like just the looks of, to be honest with you. It's all about the vibe and the atmosphere. Now we're peeking into the Western Plague Lands again, right from, like, Undercity is this way. If you're familiar with that, Tristful Glades, where the undead start, which is right here. I just poked in from over here because I just came in from Hillsbrad. Foothill. What am I talking about? Alterac Mountain. Sorry, I'm right over here, see? Hillsbrad, Tarren Mill is right here. This is where everybody used to PvP back in the day, even before there were battlegrounds. So I kind of like to come here and just reminisce, and I've talked about that in all of my other videos. Now, this server's predominantly dead when it comes to Alliance. There are a few here and there, but it's not about them. It's not about the world PvP for me. I just enjoy going around, helping people. Like I said, I'm only a few bars into 64. Actually, all of that is from grinding, from leveling up, skinning. And then what I'll do is I'll grab some herbs. I've been making a little bit of gold as well. Do a little bit of skinning. And it's just been a lot of fun in the sense of it's just relaxing. I'm not waiting in a queue for PvP. I'm not getting stressed out with a big world PvP battle because I haven't played in a long time and I don't have the gear. And or might be a little bit rusty. So for a lot of people, this would be incredibly boring. But I've been doing this, literally, no exaggeration, for almost going on 2 decades. It's actually pretty wild. I don't think I could solo him yet. Araj the Summoner. There's still some of those places where it's considered a building and you'll get dismounted. Or if I'm in cat form. These are some of the pet peeves of mine. What would end up happening is you would go in here and you'd go inside a building. See? It slowed me right down to a crawl. Because it's treating this as a house. See how I'm moving side to side? Watch that pace. Now watch this pace. See the speed difference? Because it tells you right here. Shape into cat form. Anyways, it doesn't tell you. I think it's somewhere in my talent tree. Feline Swiftness increases your movement speed by 30% while outdoors in cat form. So that's technically not considered outdoors, which is still stupid. Because to me... Oh, I'm sorry. There's a herb here I want to get. To me, I'm still in cat form. It shouldn't matter if I'm in a cave. I always thought that shit was ridiculous. But those are some of the things, again, some of the quality of life things that they've improved upon over the years while also ruining a couple of other things. In Booty Bay, I've talked about this before, you can't even mount in Booty Bay. If I run through here, it might dismount me. No. Anyhow, there are some places where it would do it. So a lot of these areas can be quite action-packed. This is a very, very populated server. Although it is still a little bit early, 10 o'clock. Realm time. Dreamfoil can still level up my skills, even though I'm at almost 330. Dreamfoil is still found in Hellfire Peninsula. Now, some of the fields that are over here tend to be quite popular for either grinding or questing. If anybody remembers back in the day, these fields, you had to approach the cauldrons, and you could tell the rendering there wasn't all that good. That's the one thing that's weak about this one. About this version of the game, rather. Is a draw distance is not so good at all. And even though I'm almost 10 levels above these guys, you can tell it still takes a few whacks to kick their ass. But the plague bloom is still yellow to me. That's pretty impressive. Because some of these can still fetch for a pretty penny. Yeah, we'll go check out the other field. Those little green circles, that's where herbs used to be. I've got an add-on. But it doesn't have any of the imported stuff from other people. I wasn't able to get that to work. But it will remember where I've picked up herbs, because herbs can only be put in so many places. Like, if there's never been a herb right where I'm standing, there won't just magically be one. There's a lot of different combinations, sure. But it's not, like, infinite. And because they don't glow, some of the features that I would like to see in Classic Plus, even though I'm standing right on it, I have to zoom in and I'm like, oh, there it is. Plague Bloom. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so I just like going around, doing a whole lot of nothing. Now, I'm trying to think of where I should go next. So if I look at my map, I mean, maybe we'll go the long way to Hillsbrad. Maybe we'll go on a nice little adventure. These are early 50s bears. Let's see what kind of leather they give. Oh, it's still green. We got another herb there. I'm not going to pick up every single herb I see, but a few of them. Make some good money. Now, these guys here, for skinning, what was really interesting is it takes about 6 to 7 kills to get 1 point. I didn't recall it being like that back when this was retail, but supposedly that's just the way it is. Okay, 330. But mind you, that doesn't mean anything. I have to start from scratch. At 1 point, these are going to go gray. But I wanted to sort of see how many kills it took to go up 1 point with the lower level stuff, because it might actually be faster to grind some points. So I'll just kill a few of these. Then I'll head on over through Tristful Glades. I always butcher how to say the name of the area. Spiders you can't skin. You can't skin those either. No. Pretty quiet here today. And again, same old speech I've been spewing for a long time. What will I do in the future? Will I go on to Wrath of the Lich King Classic? Or will I just say, you know what? I've had my time. Roughly, like I said, going slowly on 2 decades. Just call it quits. Will I just play on a PvE server? Not care about gear? Not care about the PvP? Just help people out, roam around, and do absolutely nothing else. As boring as that might sound, it might be better than nothing. Then if I queue for the odd battleground, so be it. Maybe I'll just give up on the whole world PvP thing. I just want to get a few of these guys. Because they're green too, so they're not as likely to give you a skill up compared to yellow or orange. But I just wanted to play around just to kind of see if it still takes as many skins in order to gain a skill point. So definitely this part of the game is very, very boring. Nothing really enjoyable about this. I had a little bit of PvP actually yesterday with an Alliance rogue that was a bit lower than me. She kept ganking the people that were there that were in their level 20s. So naturally I didn't feel bad kicking her ass. I am a little bit anxious to get to 70 because even in poor gear at 70, I'll be a lot more efficient. I'll be able to... Oh, see? I went up pretty quick. So I needed just about as many kills with the green Azeroth enemies than I do the Burning Crusade orange enemies, and they take a lot longer to kill. So now I'm at, oh, there you go, 331 herbs, 331 skinning. I got a pretty good computer. I talked about that some couple of months ago when I got it. I didn't go, see, 58, there's a little dip that I get, even though I turned down some of the graphics. It's interesting because my computer's far superior. However, the performance of this game, not much better. Sometimes if you really go overkill, you'll get flawless performance. You'll make up for the fact that there's sort of a poor optimization. I've got nothing running in the background overly intense.
Who you be?
I remember being Alliance. And what I used to do... Give me a moment here. Some of this stuff, I know it's worth a little bit, but I don't want to go too berserk. I know I can AH a lot of this stuff, but I really don't want to bother. So I used to come here.
Now.
If you remember Scarlet Monastery, which is right up there, SM, as they call it, as Alliance, and I would come down to go and repair, because this is all like Horde. And with my Night Elf Druid, I used to come here and quickly, you know, repair my armor, and then I would run away. But then these guys would come after me. The High Executioner, he's a level 61. And especially back in the day of vanilla, when 60 was level cap, he could hit pretty damn hard. And I do miss playing Alliance. I like Alliance and Horde equally, 50-50%. Which is what 50-50 means. I didn't need to say the percent word. However, I have to pick one. I'm so sick and tired of playing alts. And I did that for many years. But now that I'm playing guitar more, trying to work out, go hiking, all that sort of stuff, trying to write my own music for the fun of it with my guitar, it's very time consuming. So I definitely don't bother. But if I do decide to stick around, I think I've said this too, and I go to another server that's a lot more balanced. It's like 50-50 Horde Alliance, very well populated. That'll make things a lot more interesting. So there's Undercity to our left. The Forsaken. And that's the city of Brill, which there's a flight path there now in retail. Or on retail. In the game on retail, whatever. That's why I really wish there was a Classic Plus where your herbs are glowing, you get the extra flight paths, the extra spirit guides or whatever for when you resurrect, having the transmog, that kind of stuff. Mind-changing, I don't know what he's doing there, but... Hot Cosby. No comment on that. Okay, he's talking, whatever language. Oh, that looks, that looks Korean. I'm pretty confident about that. I highly doubt anybody watching my video is gonna happen to know what that is, but... Oh, wow. Look at that hot spot for leaves. Or for herbs, rather. But those are so low level, I don't even want to bother picking those up. The Silver Pine Forest. We might be familiar with. I feel like a tour guide. So Fenris Isle is where a lot of those murlocs and little nasties are. It used to be a very difficult place to solo quest. And you've got the Sepulture for Horde. There's a flight path there. And right here is the Shadowfang Keep, where a lot of people level up. And then all the way at the bottom, and then bloop, Hillsbrad. And then down here, right in here, see that little appendix size looking thing? That's where the Worgen start. I miss the Worgen, I'm not gonna lie. I very much miss them. One of my favorite races, but I like the big beefy moo. Torn. They're alright. Actually, speaking of Worgens, you can see them here. They're called Dark Runners. But those are Worgens. For just cruising around, it's a little bit more fun to do it on retail in the sense that you can get to more areas a lot quicker. Because you can fly anywhere in the world, any continent, any expansion, it doesn't matter. Whereas in the good old Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, you are only able to fly in Wrath of the Lich King zone with cold weather flying training. And in the Burning Crusade, you're able to fly in that area once you're 70 and you get the training. You cannot do that in the Azeroth world, as some people would call the old school vanilla zones. You can't do it. So it gives you a greater sense of scale. It makes you appreciate just how big the map is when you've got to travel on a regular mount at 100% speed. This is my epic mount. This is as fast as you can roam. So far, where have we gone? We started off in the No, we didn't start off in the hinterlands. We started off in Alterac Mountain. We started off our journey right about here. Right here, okay? I started right here, I went there, and I went into here. There. Yeah, it poked out here. This is where I went, in case you're curious. And I went there. And I went over here. Whoa, what's that? Then that's the Plaguelands that I was just in. And then there's the little gate we just poked through right now. I went all the way here. No, I didn't. There we go, down here. Now we're in Silverpine. Anyways. Not that exciting, but yet relaxing. That's the main thing. Some games I don't find them relaxing, even if they're really fun. Some games stress me out a little bit. Whereas I don't find this game does that to me. It can, depending on what it is I'm doing. So naturally, I try not to let it stress me out. There's Shadowfang Keep in there. A lot of people sell boosts and power level people in there. I've done it for a few levels before for the fun of it. Diet root beer is so good. No sugars, no carbs, and it practically tastes like the regular flavored root beer. Now these guys you'll be surprised to hear, maybe. These guys, even though they're not PvP NPCs, and they're human, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything. From what I remember, these are friendly to Alliance. Now we're in the Silver Pine. We're about to head into Hillsbrad Foothills, arguably one of the most iconic. I love that transition from like those types of trees. Anyways. Yeah, arguably one of the most iconic locations. Again, this is where World PvP used to happen. Before Battlegrounds were even introduced into the game way back in 2004, 2005, you'd pick up a quest there. Hillsbrad Fields. I mean, this area they butchered. They fucked it up. There's like no reason to quest here practically. I mean, yes, there's still some quests on retail. And yes, I am tempted to go on retail and show you a side-by-side comparison. These, again, are friendly to Alliance, but not to the Horde. Yesterday, I helped a ton of people in here. I mean, there must have been, like, almost a dozen people questing. I mean, it was pretty wild. Because these... Oh, see, there's always somebody here. Half-dead guy. Classic enjoyers. So here you're almost guaranteed to always find someone. I was helping some people, like actually killing them. I'd let them tag it first so they get through a quest quicker. One person complained, was like, bro, man, I'm only getting 2 XP instead of 60 XP. I'm like, great. But you're plowing through this quest a lot quicker. But yeah, if somebody were to constantly do that throughout your entire journey, I mean, you would have to grind. You'd have to grind Battlegrounds. Or, dungeons. You really would. Because that's a huge part of leveling up, too, is the grind from animal to animal. So right around here, right below the Yeti Cave, we've got Southshore just over there for the Alliance, even though there's no Alliance on this server, really. And then our Horde Town is just over there. This served as the big battleground, and then for Alterac Valley for Alliance, you can go up here. There's an NPC. So high levels would hang out here, too, back in the day, once they did introduce Battlegrounds. Whoops. Smacked my microphone. Now this is called the Ruins of Southshore on retail. Had to do with the Cataclysm changes, which I can't say I'm a fan of. You still have that quest Hellkiller's Revenge for the Horde, where you have to come here and turn in a quest, and it's brutal because when you do it, you're like in your level 20s, but you're surrounded by like level 45 guards. But back in vanilla, aka pre-BC, if I'm not mistaken, those guards were actually level 60. And you would get stomped so hard. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I go inside the inn, if I still get the rested, if this is going to flash. Apparently it's not relaxing. Because this would start flashing, signifying that I would be building on my rested XP. Ah, good times. Ah, it's so quiet. Trying to figure out where to go to next. But yeah, this was just one of the best zones ever back in the day. Pretty boring from a landscape perspective because all the battling just occurred in this big open field. It's not like there's a lot to see, but it's still a nice little area. I still prefer being in a battleground. But it was still nice. Someone's been nearby, kicking the crap out of all the animals. But it's hard to say, as much as I enjoy doing what I'm doing right now, day in, day out, couple hours a day. I don't know if I could do it for that long. Now we've pretty much come full circle. Now another druid about my level. Oh, that's this one. So again, I started actually just up here. See, I'm here. We started my journey here. We just did a big, massive loop. Shows you how long that took. Not too sure where I would want to fly. Do we want to fly all the way to the jungle? Because there's nothing in here I want to do. I don't want to go to Arathi Highlands. Badlands is kind of cool. It's not bad. That place brings back memory. You know what? Let's go to Stranglethorn Vale. There's quicker ways for me to get there. But I'm not really concerned about quicker. Should we do Gromgal or go all the way to the Booty Bay? Oi. Because then Gromgal, I can go to Orgrimmar much quicker. This one would bring me to Ratchet. Fuck. Whatever. Maybe I'll end the video once I get to the jungle. Because for this video, I might run out of shit to say. Checking out the weather. Durnhold Keep. There's some good quests in there. I think predominantly for Horde again. Actually, I think there's a dungeon where you go back in time called the Escape of Durnhold. And you actually help Thrall escape. Yeah. Then Arathi Highlands. There used to be a lot of PvP here at Point Refuge. Refuge Point. Whatever. I've had some decent PvP fights. I've had decent PvP fights everywhere. Not as much here, though, because this section here, even though I've had my fair share, it is, to me, a slower paced area for PvP. There's the Alliance Town right in that nook right there. Refuge point. Just in that little crater. You can queue up for Arathi Basin. In there. Same thing with over here, because don't forget, back in these times and right now, in this game, Classic, you can't just queue for Battleground in the middle of nowhere like you can on retail. You had to speak to the NPCs, but some zones, they would allow you to queue up for a Battleground. So sometimes some people would hang around here. See? Right in there. Those NPCs there, there's a portal. You can click on it or the NPC and you can queue up. That's a major town for us there. You could do the PvP, only Arathi Basin though. Alterac Valley was in Hillsbrad. Now we're going to be heading into the Wetlands, which is an Alliance dominant area. I've always enjoyed the World of Warcraft music. I've actually purchased the albums quite a few years ago. They were only like $10 per album, so I bought a couple of them. I bought the original, and I bought Wrath of the Lich King. And Burning Crusade. I think I got a deal, 3 for $24.99 or something, I don't remember. It's been a long time. So here's the Wetlands. I used to farm for the whelp pet right around in here, I believe it was. There's a huge Menethil Harbor, had a lot of PvP in here. More than the other place, even though this is an Alliance-only area for questing, I believe. I don't think there's any Horde quests here. That doesn't stop us from coming over. Twilight Highlands is off to the side here. Right in this area, on retail. That's why that zone is there, but you can't go there. It's the same thing with here. Anyways, let's just enjoy the flight. Some of the zones were put in, and they were under construction. They had thought years and years ahead, like over a decade ahead. And then all of a sudden, they're like, yep, that zone is now open. So, like, right in there. That's all open now. Oh, no, sorry, over here. Anyhow. I've done some little RP events here. Where my guild and I would just hang out. We would just chat. It was fun. It was relaxing. It was very, very nerdy. Lakmodan. Now we're going to be going into the Badlands. Technically, I could. Let's see what happens if I click this. Well, it tells you, land at the next available flight master. I don't even think that existed in Classic. Or, when this was retail. Here again, yeah, there's a few quests that you can do. It's not the most popular. I mean, over the years, I haven't extensively quested through here, but I've had my fair share. Now this is all ripped apart from Cataclysm there. I like how this transitions nicer, just like right into it. How it just transitions right into the Badlands. I used to farm some whelps here. This is one of the first areas where I started playing heavily with a friend of mine. She had started World of Warcraft around the same time I did. We lost touch. She was a good friend. I forget how we even met, to be honest. I don't remember if it was in school. I even just don't remember. We never dated, nothing. Just I forget how we met. But anyways, she played a human warlock on Feathermoon RP server, and I was playing my Night Elf Hunter named Elwynn. Yeah, see, it did it. So even though I said, you know, the Booty Bay, yeah, so I used to go in here and grind. This is a nice area from a landscape perspective.
Macraw. For the whole.
I'm totally not gonna edit that out. Who cares if I sneeze? And then this is where people would start coming in for the Molten Core, I believe. You would land there, you would run through here, go into the Blackrock Mountains. So this area got pretty busy here. A lot of questing here. High level zone. Yeah, well, kinda, yeah. Late 40s, early 50s. Blackwing Lair is not too far behind. Very ugly area. I don't like it here. Not everything can just be green. You gotta have some lava, and in there is like the Molten Core and all that. And Blackwing Lair's up there somewhere. Can't really remember. Magma Lord. Yeah, high 50s. That's why I like taking the flight paths, because it's autopilot and it's the only way that you can see from above. Now we're in Elwynn Forest. This is where the Alliance main town is. Goldshire. Excuse me. Everybody knows Goldshire. I mean, I never get bored of Elwynn Forest. Never. As a matter of fact, most of my Alliance characters, I start them off questing here. Now we're gonna head into Duskwood. As soon as we cross that lake, watch how the ambience changes. Ooh. I love how it does that. All the different zones like that. And the music. I've had a lot of PvP, but mainly at the Raven Hill. That was a bit of a hot spot for PvP, and as well as the town of Darkshire. Oh my god, that was huge. And same thing with Stranglethorn Vale. Actually, let's do it again. Let's see if it drops me off at Gromgall. And now we're in Stranglethorn Vale, just like that. There's the Alliance flight path. There is Nessingwary Expedition, one of the biggest hotspots of all time for PvP right there. The amount of times I've been ganked and I've ganked the gankers. Yeah. Oh, wow. Something else, I tell you. But we do have a flight path right here at Gromgall, and because I've done the request to stop at the nearest flight path master, we'll see if he in fact does it. Or if he's not going to drop me off because it technically wasn't on his route. I requested a stop. Turn around. Land at the next available. Apparently it wasn't available because that blimp would have taken me to Orgrimmar. Yeah, it's like if it's not right on its trajectory, even though it looked pretty close to it. It wouldn't do it. Anyhow. I may just end up a casual. It's hard to say. Maybe I'll stay on the PvP server. Never thought in a million years I'd contemplate a pure PvE server. But that way I won't have to worry about gear. I could still help people interact. Still have some fun. I could still do battlegrounds. But there would be no world PvP. All the players would be yellow. Like they're not red. You can't interact with them unless you flag yourself for PvP. So you could still technically world PvP, but... I used to come here on my night elf hunter. And let's say that person there, I would snipe them. I'd kick their ass. I've probably done almost more world PvP here than anywhere else, including Gadget Zan and the Hills Brad. But for like a town, for ganking in town, this is definitely... Oh, there's the boat there. What should I do? Maybe we'll take the boat to Ratshit. Remember, can't mount here. And this? Oh my god, I can't even use my cheetah form. And I'm operating at 30% slower speed. So I had to use my dash. That's ridiculous. Telling you, quality of life on retail. Bad rat. But I can mount up on the boat. Exactly. Exactly. There's been times I would get into fights on the boat, or I would come here with my warlock, and I would dot up some people that were waiting around here, and then the guards would go, "Argh!" They would get like really angry because they attack you, right? That's what happens when you're in a neutral town. They don't want any fighting, so they attack you on sight. There's actually a title you can get called Bloodsail Buccaneer. And it involves you siding with the Bloodsail Buccaneer, which means you have to be hostile with all these towns, but then you can't interact with Gadgetzan, Booty Bay, Everlook. It's dumb, really. Then you gotta re-grind and fix your rep. Piss on that. Never understood the meaning of that Goblin Tower, but now we're in the Barrens. Right in the middle of the map. One of my other favorite areas. There could be a lot of people here, sometimes needing a hand. But I think we're going to end our journey here. Yeah, here I can mount. I also have a bank here, which I have to sort some stuff out.
Yo!
But I might do that on my own.
Real!
A lot of ganking here. I used to hide up on top of that bank. It was kind of hard to get to, and all the alliance that would come in, I'd waffle them upside the head. And how you would do it, because you can't fly here. If you didn't have an epic mount, it was hard. See, first try. I would come here. Really? I can't even see the person that's over there? Ah, well. Anyhow, I'm gonna go log in, or log out rather, at the inn. So I get my rested XP. And I'll come back and do some bank stuff on my own. See? Look at my name at the top left. See how it's glowing? And it's got this ZZZ thing. Means I'm rested. Means I'm having fun. There we go. Not for a moment there, I thought he was going to follow the beat of the music. That's enough of that. As always, if you liked the video, you know what to do. If you didn't like it, I'll bend that staff off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great, but if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.